Excellencies, President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore, President of Burkina Faso, Your Excellency, Mr. Nana Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Niger, ladies and gentlemen, all political protocol are reserved. Allow me, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, to really express on behalf of the Islamic Development Bank, and in particular on behalf of the International Islamic Trade Finance Cooperation, ITFC, my deep gratitude and appreciation to His Excellency Roch-Marc Christian Kabore, the President of the Republic of Burkina Faso, for his kind invitation to this very important event, and also his kind invitations for me to visit this beautiful country of Burkina Faso. I would like also to thank also the organizers. I'd like to thank His Excellency also Mr. Thierry Hott, the Special Advisor to the President, for having also ITFC to be part of this really important forum. In the meantime, I would like also to extend my deep appreciation to all of you for being really coming to this beautiful country, Burkina Faso. I cannot really express my also thanks and appreciation for the warm welcome and hospitality that were extended to me and to my delegation since really since we arrived to this great country and to really see and meet this great people. I would like to say it's always a pleasure also to meet our colleagues from other international organizations to discuss and to reflect really and advance together pressing topics of interest to African sustainable development, such as, among other, private sectors development of the SMEs, and the transition to what is said, the green economy. In the IDB group, sustainable development of its member countries in Africa and also in ITFC is a very, very high priority. And we believe that sustainable development can only be achieved through active engagement with all stakeholders, from international organizations, governments, private sector, civil society, women and youth, to really debate on these topics. The Rebranding Africa surely is the unique platform to really gather here and share our experiences and share our lessons, and to make it possible to work toward the sustainability in Africa. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in today's world characterized by increasing deterioration of the environment, scarcity of the resources, economic uncertainty, poverty, Africa has early on realized that continuing with the traditional development model was not a practical option when challenges for economic development becomes very, very high. With approximately 70% of the population in Africa are under the age of 30, and also estimated 11 million young people expected to join the labor market force, priority is to be given to adopt innovative solutions in its growth model. Among them, the transition toward an inclusive green economy in Africa, which represent a very unique opportunity to address these issues. The green economy, whose growth in income and employment is driven by environment-friendly industries that will enhance energy and resources efficiency, prevent losses of biodiversity and ecosystems, and reduce carbon emissions and pollutions. Green economy integrates economics, social welfare and environmental policies, and focuses on new opportunities for economic growth. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Countries across the continent have been undertaking groundbreaking policy reform and green investment. We can note the promotion of energy efficiency in Egypt, the development of renewable energy export capacity in Ghana, the adoption of Morocco of the Green Plan in its own constitution, and the endorsement of Burkina Faso of the Green Economy Strategy in 2013. As we can see, the drive to create more sustainable growth through its truly embedded at the national level. Investing in the green economy offers tangible results, especially small and medium enterprises, for job creation. In Tunisia, for example, the 10-year program for solar thermal market development, what is it called, PROSOL, between 2005 and 2015, has led the creation of employment as 42 technology suppliers and 1,000 SMEs were registered in the country. Another notable example includes investment in the expansion of solar and wind capacity in Senegal that are projected to create between 7,000 and 30,000 additional jobs by the year 2035. ITFC, your institution, is focal supporter of sustainability, including environment protection. We have been very active in defining the IDB Group climate change policy. We have also crafted the climate change, trade solutions, and integrated programs. Why? Because we want to support our member countries in the achievements of their national determined contributions, the NDCs, to the Paris Agreement. Furthermore, this will allow us to mobilize more resources for our beneficiaries from climate funds and donors. ITFC has been very much involved in all climate conferences of Paris since 2016, when we presented our first report on the contribution to the climate change and the contribution of trade and the role of trade. To the COP22, we were also very active. And also we have been organizing a policy workshop on trade, transport, and climate with participation of the UNCTAD and the UNDP and other partners at the occasions of COP23 or COP23 in Bonn, Germany. This year, we are planning to discuss the topic of international trade and climate change, applied to one of our regions, also in this year's Climate Change Summit in Poland. Our engagement toward environment protection and sustainability translates also in our day-to-day interventions. For instance, we have been working from the trade finance and trade development side on the sustainability, for example, of the cotton sector in Burkina Faso, in Cameroon, in Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire, with more than $1.4 billion and also we have been supporting the groundnut sector in Senegal and Gambia for a total of $315 million. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, enormous sustainable and untapped resources exist in your beautiful continent of Africa. And also, especially for the renewable energy market, and more remains to be done, I am sure, to really make sure of using all these potentials. Africa receives almost all year long 325 days per year of sunlight, and also using only 7% of its hydroelectrical potentials. Less than 2% of its geothermal potentials and wind power is being tapped. Going forward, there exist considerable implementation challenges in the short run to tap these challenges and need to be addressed in a very coordinated manner. I would like to say that maybe governments should really consider at this stage joining also international platforms such as the Green Climate Fund as a means of large-scale international financial support to these projects. Also at the same time, when governments are also designing policies, governments need to provide compensation of those adversely affected by green economy reforms. As exemplified by Ghana, the progressive removal of fossil fuel subsidies is being associated with what is called the social protection initiatives that aims to reduce actually negative impact of fuel prices increase on the vulnerable section of the society, and thank you, Ghana, for that. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, African countries are creating and enabling conditions for transitions to the green economy. The African Green Economy Partnership, the AGEP, adopted in the 14th African Ministerial Conference on the Environment in 2012, demonstrated a strong commitment on behalf of the African leaders to the green economy in Africa. The commitment of African leaders to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Objective was also reaffirmed in 2014 ECA Conference of African Ministers of Finance in Abuja. In a joint statement, the ministers affirmed that the goal of making growth inclusive and sustainable requires a clear vision, committed leadership, coherent strategies, and a long-term planning framework. It is also calls for a robust institutions and governance structures to enable optimal interactions between state and non-state sectors. Rebranding Africa, with its very variety of stakeholders and experiences available here today. I think this is going to be the forum that we can really exchange all the importance for the future of Africa. I would like really, before I really conclude, to assure all of you that ITFC, the International Islamic Trade Finance Corporation, is very keen to continue to support Africa, is very keen to really build strategic partnership with all the African countries. We feel very proud to be part of this really Africa in the future. So please have always ITFC in your hearts. I would like to thank you for making really this happen. I would like to thank you for also having us in this very beautiful country, Burkina Faso. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.